Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. It is Wisdom Wednesday. It is a wonderful Wednesday. It is a wellness Wednesday. It is all the things. And I'm so happy that you are joining us today. Our topic for today is about mental health. So I want to give you a moment to read this quote to yourself as I read it aloud. Your mental health is everything. So make sure you prioritize it. Make the time like your life depends on it because it does. And that is a quote from Mel Robbins. Today I am wearing green. I don't know if you're noticing, but green is the color that signifies mental health awareness, and May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so before we go any further, I wanted to take this opportunity to do a little story time with the Culture Academy and Dr. Q. As I reflect on my life as an educator, as a building administrator, I had some rough times. Let me tell you, there was one point in time where I thought I was about to be taken out. I'm just going to be very honest with you. Can I be honest with you? Will you allow me to be transparent today? Well, here it goes. Even if you won't let me, I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of my platform and tell you that I'm going to be transparent. There were about a few years, really, I want to say COVID year and the year right after. So like 2019, 2020, 2021. Actually, that's a lot more time than I thought. But there had been some major occurrences that happened that just seemed to compile. Things just kept coming on top of. I would go into the specifics, but I don't want to really relive any of that. But I will say that there was a time where I had some drama in the building that of teachers that I supervised. Because I'm gonna just go ahead and be transparent. Y'all said I can do that, right? I had some faculty deaths faculty deaths and deaths of close family members. I was verbally, almost physically assaulted by a student, and I was going through. I was going through. My mind was filled with all of these things that you see on the screen in front of you: panic, depression, stress, shame, because my integrity was questioned at one point, anxiety, grief, just all the things. And I felt like this image was so fitting because at one point in time, all of these words resonated with me. We had some parents that committed suicide, and it impacted the students. Like when I tell you, life was lifing and lifing hard. And so one of the things that I know about myself is that I stand very flat-footed and resolute when things are happening. But when when the storm quiets down and it's just me alone with my thoughts and just kind of like replaying all the things or rehashing all the things that happen, that's when I start to feel these moments of anxiety and stress and like, oh my Lord, is this really happening? Like, whew, I just need to take a moment, breath. When I tell you, happenings were so traumatic to me. I think that's one of the words in the head screen. I had some really traumatic experiences as an educator, as an educational leader, and I started burning out and spiraling. Now, to many people, this burnout and spiral wasn't front facing. Like, so people didn't really see this, but the people at my house, my family and they saw it. And so I recognized that I needed to find some other outlets to cope and take care of myself. So, what's the moral of the story? Well, it wasn't until I first recognized the signs of stress and burnout that I was able to really do something about it. So, I had to really start checking in with myself, making sure that I'm identifying earlier on stages of irritability, fatigue, just being sluggish, not being able to get in motion. I still was able to put this face on and do the things, but behind the scenes, it was just taking a lot longer to get into motion. I also recognize that who I surrounded myself with played a big part in my success or my downfall. So my support system was huge, or not having one and then having one was huge. And so that was one of the things that I kind of had to do to get back on track. And then lastly, I had to think about how was I going to really take care of myself and show up for myself? How was I going to be sure that I was taking care of my needs first before others, right? We always hear when we're on the plane during the safety briefing that if something happens on the plane and you're with someone, be sure that you take the mask, the oxygen mask down, you put it on yourself first before you can help others. And so when I recognized that that's what I had to do, that's what we started doing. Hey, Tiffany, so glad that you could join us today. So I gave you a little bit about all of the words that's in the head in front of you and how it impacted my life. Like I said, just a quick recap. I've been through a lot as an educator, as an educational leader, and I failed to say as just as a person, as a human being, as a mom, as a wife, as a sorority member, as like so when I tell you mental health awareness is so important regardless of where you are in your life, it is. You know, the platform that I preach on, not preach, but I share on is mainly for educators. We're going to get it right today, and educational leaders. But it's appropriate to anyone that came to get what they came for. Okay. All right. So how do we go from, and I want to switch back real quick. How do we go from this to this? So notice a few things in the picture here. You see a woman watering the plants, nurturing. You see the little medical alert heart here. How do you take care of yourself is where I want to go next. So given the examples that I gave, I told you the first thing I had to do was really recognize the signs of stress and burnout. So one of the ways that I think helped me was to be able to journal. And when I say journal, I was able to kind of journal out my feelings. And I still do this. Let me be clear. I go nowhere without a notebook. And if it wasn't too much time, I would just bend down and pick up all the notebooks that I have here on the floor. So when I journal, I make sure that I am sharing my feelings. I'm looking at how I'm feeling in that moment. I'm looking at things that kind of cause it. I looked at stressors so that I could be able to pinpoint where things are happening, like those, detect those signs early so I know how to react. So that is one of the ways that I recognize my signs of stress and burnout, by journaling, making sure you see what your triggers are, look for trends in what you're saying, documenting all of that so you know how to get help or how to move forward. The second thing that I did was I built a support system around me. So let me tell you, in the midst of stress, I always find a way to add some extra stuff to my plate. Okay. So during this time, this is when I decided to go vegan and to hit the gym. So I had accountability partners. I had a support system. So I had a gym buddy in the morning, and as we can see, the gym. Okay, let's stay on track. I had a gym buddy. I had a vegan buddy who was, helping me stay accountable at my vegan life. My gym buddy I had some professional networks that I put together. So other building administrators that kind of was in the same community as me, we bonded together and formed a network. I bonded with more so with my sorority sisters. So I was just making sure that I was covered on every side, on every front. In church, please let's not forget the church. That was a big, big, big source of help. With the support system, I made sure that we checked in regularly. We checked in on each other. We made sure that everybody was staying afloat, checking in on their mental health. And so that helped me tremendously just by building that support system. And the last thing I did, which I encourage you all to do, is to ensure that self-care is a priority. And we talked a little bit about this on the 7 R's to Sensational Self-Care. And we will talk again some more about this on our Saturday school that is coming up on June 1st, I think it is, on June 1st, yes. But what do I mean by self-care? I happen to have a self-care strategist on the line, and I don't want to put her on blast, but if she's still here and joining us, maybe she can drop some self-care strategies in the chat box to help. But some of the things that I did, so Tiffany, that's a hint to you. If you're still here, go on and drop some strategies in the chat box for the viewers. Some of the things that I did was, like I said, the church. So I started making sure that I meditated. I did some devotions. I took walks. So like when we were transitioning and making sure we were doing bus duty and lunch duty, I took that time to take some extended walks outside as I was surveying and surveilling and making sure our students were safe. But I made that a priority. I didn't just stay in my office behind my desk. Like I made sure that I got up and enjoyed the weather, let the sun shine on me a little bit. Those little changes went a long way. I also, like I said, was very active in the gym. And when I tell you that was a major breakthrough for me, it was. And last but not least, I am going to tell you, because in the spirit of transparency, I got therapy. Okay? For some of us, that's taboo. For some of us, we don't want to tell anybody that. But let me tell you, that was life-changing. All of the drama and the happenings and the trauma that I went through, the therapy is what got me all the way together. And do I still do therapy? I know y'all nosy and you want to know. Just ask. Yes, I do. I do. And the reason why I do is because I want to make sure I've made a vow to myself that I will never go back voluntarily to that place, that low place that I was before. I have to make sure that I prioritize myself and my mental health. And it goes right back. And I'm going to switch back to the quote that we started with. Your mental health is everything. Therefore, we have to prioritize it. We have to make time like our life depends on it, because it does. And when I tell you I had a brush of reality with that, I don't take it for granted. Well, friends, that's our Wisdom Wednesday. I wish that you would, while we're doing the formalities, let me know about how mental health is important to you. I see Tiffany has put in the chat that she knows all too well what I'm talking about as it relates to mental health. It is something so serious. You have to take care of yourself. Okay. Now, if you are an educator or an educator to start, or you just want a quick 15-minute talk and think about some ways that you can make yourself and your mental health a priority, please do not hesitate to book a strategy session with us. Strategy sessions do not cost a thing. We just want to talk. We want to know what you need and how we can support you. You can book a strategy session by accessing or you can copy down our link here. You can also scan our QR code, which is our e-business card that is also located here on the screen. And as always, we want to thank you so very much, one, for allowing us to be vulnerable as we talk about the serious issue of mental health and what happens when you don't take care of yourself, but what also happens when you do take care of yourself. And if you want some more content, some more strategies, please engage with us. Engage means that you're not only spectating, but you are participating. And you can engage with us on the following platforms: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and X. Thank you so much for your time and your engagement in the chat box today. As always, we'll see you next time. We'll see you next Wednesday. Until next time, guys. Bye.